Hello and welcome to Pixarize's scene on Tay-Sachs and Niemann-Pick disease. In this image, we'll quickly go over what you need to know about these two syndromes, including their pathological causes, their clinical findings, and their microscopic appearance on biopsy. Let's jump right in. The setting for this scene is a music store selling string and wind instruments. On the right, notice the display of toy saxophones. The words toy sax should help you remember the name Tay-Sachs. Who buys toys at a music store anyways? I guess we'll have to wait to find out. Towards the left, check out this promotion for guitar picks made by the world famous Knee Picks company. The words knee picks should remind you of the name Niemann-Pick. So what do these two diseases have in common? Well, first take a look towards the middle at this ice storage container here. Look familiar? This ice storage box is a recurring symbol for lysosomal storage diseases. Lysosomal storage diseases are rare metabolic disorders that result from defects in lysosomal function. This ice box here should help you remember that both Tay-Sachs and Niemann-Pick disease are caused by problems in lysosomal function. Next, look outside towards the parked smart cars. Here at Pixarize, we like to symbolize autosomal recessive inheritance with small automobiles like you see here, while autosomal dominant inheritance is represented by large cars like trucks and tanks. These tiny smart cards are here to help you remember that Tay-Sachs and Niemann-Pick disease are both inherited in an autosomal recessive pattern. Next, shift your gaze inside at this spotlight with red cherries. Really? A spotlight in a store? Well, I guess musicians are performers after all. Maybe the customers want to check the stage presence of their instruments. Anyways, we've drawn this bright spotlight with red cherries in the center to remind you of the finding of cherry red spots on eye exams. Cherry red spots are bright red spots found on the macula or center of vision in both Tay-Sachs and Niemann-Pick disease. They're actually caused by relative transparency. Fatty products accumulate elsewhere in the retina, but not in the macula, which makes the red blood vessels underneath more visible at the point of the macula. The cherry red spot is special because it's actually absent in other lysosomal storage diseases, so you should immediately think of Tay-Sachs or Niemann-Pick disease when you see it, especially in a child. So now we know that both of these diseases present with cherry red spots. So what makes them different? First, take a look towards our knee picks display for the unique features of Niemann-Pick disease. See these sphinx violins? The words sphinx violin should help you remember the term sphingomyelin. Notice how there's been an overstock of sphinx violins. There's simply too many of them. You could even say that there's an accumulation of sphinx violins, or sphingomyelin in the store. Niemann-Pick disease is caused by a defect in sphingomyelinase, which normally breaks down sphingomyelin. As a result, sphingomyelin accumulates in cells and organs, leading to the clinical picture seen in the disease. So what are these clinical findings anyways? First, take a look at this lever on the wall. I guess it controls the lights here. But that handle looks a bit strange. Kinda like a liver, maybe? This liver-shaped lever is a recurring symbol for hepatosplenomegaly. Some of the lysosomal storage diseases present with big livers, while others do not. Just remember this big liver-shaped lever, and you'll know to look for hepatosplenomegaly in Niemann-Pick disease, which is notably not present in Tay-Sachs disease. Next, take a look at this box that our violins and picks came in. See how it's full of packing foam? Well, we've drawn this box here to help you remember the term foam cells. Foam cells refer to the foamy appearance of lipid-laden macrophages in biopsies of patients with Niemann-Pick disease. The combination of a cherry red spot and foam cells should help you immediately think of Niemann-Pick disease. Afterwards, take a look at this dying plant. This dying plant is a recurring symbol for neurodegeneration, which presents in Niemann-Pick disease as a loss of developmental milestones or seizures in patients. This occurs since the accumulation of sphingomyelin is actually toxic to the brain and spinal cord. However, while these symptoms are often found in question stems, neurodegenerative symptoms are not unique to Niemann-Pick disease and may also be present in Tay-Sachs disease. For this reason, we recommend that you pay more attention to an enlarged liver on exam or foam cells on biopsy, which are more specific features for Niemann-Pick disease. Now, let's change gears and focus on our toy Saxes on the right for the features of Tay-Sachs disease. First, notice the door sign that reads, "No amenities for Hicks." This ain't no country bumpkin music store. We've drawn this here to help you remember that the deficient enzyme in Tay-Sachs disease is hexosaminidase A. Get it? No amenities for Hicks for no hexosaminidase? I thought that was pretty clever. So while this store may have managed to avoid its Hicks, it seems that we still have uninvited guests. Notice these two gum-chewing gangsters by a toy saxophone display. Uh-oh, looks like the gum gang is back at it, stealing our priceless toy saxophones. These two gum gangsters should help you remember the substance, GM2 ganglioside. The defect in hexosaminidase in Tay-Sachs disease causes an accumulation of GM2 ganglioside in cells and organs, leading to the clinical features seen in Tay-Sachs disease. Overaccumulation? I mean, two gangsters is already too many. Next, take a look at this turtle, the mascot of our gum gangsters. A turtle is Pixarizer's recurring symbol for developmental delay, which is a key finding in Tay-Sachs disease. The turtle is next to another dying plant, which you may remember as our symbol for neurodegeneration. The combination of these symbols should help you remember that the accumulation of GM2 ganglioside is toxic to neurons, which results in reduced IQ and neurologic regression. Finally, our gangsters came prepared with a bag of their turtle's favorite food, you guessed it, onions. Notice how there's an onion on the ground with its skin falling off. The onion skin here should help you remember the term onion skin lysosomes. Electron microscopy of cells in patients with Tay-Sachs disease reveals lysosomes with a layered ring-like appearance, kind of like the skin of an onion. Just picture our onions here, and you'll remember the buzzword, onion skin lysosomes, for your exam. And that's it for Tay-Sachs and Niemann-Pick disease. To summarize, both are lysosomal storage diseases, presenting in children with symptoms of neurologic regression. Just picture our spotlight with its cherries, and you'll remember the cherry red spot characteristically seen in these two diseases. Remember our sphinx violins and our liver lever to remember the sphingomyelin and hepatosplenomegaly that occurs in Niemann-Pick disease. And just imagine our gum gangsters with their onion-eating turtle, and you'll be sure to remember the GM2 ganglioside, as well as the clinical findings in Tay-Sachs disease. We'll see you next time.